Okay, let me just fix this. What up, guys? Long time no see. Oh, I got a shave too. Good lord. All right, long time no see. I am still breathing. I made a little Instagram post today, and just to give proof of life. Some people were worried. I'm still here. I just had a last week or so of hell, and it had to be worked out, or my life was going to be ruined pretty much, and it supposedly worked out. But I ain't going to get into it, but I am still here. I want to make some videos again. I do. Part of the reason the week of hell, it made me miss my Ring of Honor show that I was supposed to go to. I did get to live stream it for an hour and a half. I had to join the Ring of Honor club, but whatever. I got to see two douchebags steal my seats. That was fun because I had front row, and then I got to figure out. I didn't know where I was in the front row. I was front row hard side camera, so you would have seen me the entire time. But I didn't know if I was front row ring entrance or front row end of the aisle. Well, it turned out I was front row ring entrance, which really sucked because I missed out on that. And Ring of Honor's show, it was a full taping, just like the last show I went to. It would have been another 4.5-hour show, but I would have loved to have gone to it. I got to watch 2 matches. They filmed Women of Honor. Emma was supposed to be there, whatever she's called now, but she recently got hurt, so she was off the card. Some other chicks were there though, but I got to see that, and I got to see an hour of actual Ring of Honor wrestling. I got to see what was supposed to be the headliner of the night, which was Ring of Honor Champions versus Bullet Club in an epic match. That was really all I got to see, but at least I got to see something. But that bummed me out because I bought those tickets 4 months ago, man. So I missed that, and luckily I happened to remember I had 2 NXT shows this month, but I thought they were at the end of the month. One is, the other one isn't. The other one's tomorrow, so I luckily reminded myself, so be on the lookout for that. So at least I will have that. But yeah, a lot of things happened to me this last week, and it affected a lot of different things in my life, but now it's supposed to clear it up, and I am back. This is basically a wrestling news report, and it's starting to get a little old. Some of it is, so I'm just going to jump this out of the way. Really, I should be making, what is it, is Fastlane this weekend? Something's coming up this weekend. I just saw that from Christian's post, but I haven't been able to watch it yet. So technically, I should have been making that instead of this, but whatever. I can get that out of the way later. We're going to do, the greatest Royal Rumble ever. Get that out of the way. Now, the WWE signed away their life with the Saudis for the next 10 years. They basically made $100 million off this event, and they're going to be pretty much guaranteed to make $200 million in total in the next 10 years. So expect quite a few more shows to be in Saudi Arabia. The next one's supposed to be, I don't even remember anymore, but it's not going to be in the same stadium. The Saudi prince had a list of wrestlers that he wanted on that card. He must be a real big fan with the current product. One, he wanted Undertaker. Okay, WWE could do that. And if you don't know, there was a lot of money being thrown around for this card. So that's probably why Undertaker was on it. The Saudi prince wanted the Ultimate Warrior. That one's going to be a little hard. And he also asked to have Yokozuna. So now you know why some sumo wrestler no one knows about showed up, because I guess that was to appease the Saudi prince, who must have been a big Yoko fan back in the 90s. A few more other wrestlers that he couldn't produce either, but I guess that was the WWE's way to appease him. HBK was offered supposedly a boatload of money to come out and just participate in this match, and he threw a fit, told the WWE stop calling him, he's retired. They also offered a lot of money for Stone Cold too. I don't know. If they offered me $1 million to go do 3 minutes worth of work in the ring, I'm going to go do it. Stone Cold can't be that injured, and even if he was, I mean, they had the Iron Sheik in a Royal Rumble match years ago at a WrestleMania, and, you know, that guy can barely walk. Stone Cold is more than capable. But whatever, kudos. Like, you know, Stone Cold don't need the money either, but I would certainly show up for a few minutes worth of work for God knows the amount of money they were offered. And of course, we got to see the likes of Great Khali walk his slow butt down to the ring and instantly get thrown out. He probably, guaranteed you, that guy probably made $500,000 for that because the Saudi prince wanted to see him. Mysterio, of course, was brought in for the event, and so was Mark Henry. Mysterio actually worked and performed his ass off. Mark Henry did an okay showing, but I'm sure he got a nice little, retirement package for it. Look at, he got into that. Now, of course, the segment with the Daivari brothers, who are of Iranian descent, didn't quite go over so well with the Saudi Arabia crowd. And this show is supposed to prove how forward-thinking and progressive the Saudis have become all of a sudden. And of course, with the Daivari brothers doing their little bit of anti-Saudi Iranian praise gimmick, just all the stuff Vince likes to do hot button issues on. Well, now the Daivaris are being hunted and have death threats and all sorts of things are going on in their lives now all because of that skit. And they did release something on Twitter about it, but still, I mean, if you watch the WWE, even if you're in Saudi Arabia and you can't figure out, fact from fiction, I don't know, maybe you're not so forward-thinking as people want you to believe. But, yeah, they have that going on. The title that Braun Strowman won, they were planning on doing something with it. He was originally posted with it on the Fastlane posters, but it's been already said that title is going to be scrapped. If they keep doing this Greatest Royal Rumble thing, I'm sure it's going to keep popping up to whoever the winner is. It did seem kind of stupid. I mean, how do you defend that belt anyway? You're a Battle Royal champion, so you got to win every Battle Royal. Well, when's the next Battle Royal? I mean, it was just dumb. It was just something to look big and gaudy. Not the belt, I mean the whole ceremonial thing for this event. All right. Let me see. Ziggler, remember that report where Ziggler was supposedly signed to a 3-year deal, $1 million something a year. He can do whatever he wants on his off dates. Well, Ziggler let FoxSports.news know that he is unsigned and he's just freelancing basically with the WWE. It looks like they have plans for him with the whole, oh, come on, Drew McIntyre bit, but I don't know how you float a guy like that. It just makes Ziggler look weak that he's sticking around like that. Like I said, I really wish he would just grow a pair and go to New Japan and, spend his last 5-10 wrestling years doing something enjoyable and not just for money, but he could change his whole career. Look what it did for Cody. And like I said, I'm a Ziggler fan, and a lot of people are too. I just wish better things for him. War Machine was renamed War Raiders. I don't know. If they came over with the name, why do they have to change it? But whatever. Now they're War Raiders. That doesn't exactly flow off the tongue, does it? But whatever. Of course, over WrestleMania weekend, if you don't know, Del Rio no-showed the... I don't have it written down. The Impact versus Lucha Underground pay-per-view that they had. He claims he had a family event. Well, it instantly got him fired from the promotion. I think he's being blackballed at this point. I think he's only getting gigs overseas, which to me was really stupid. But whatever, it cost him his job. TNA Impact's moving on without him, so it shows he wasn't that important. That match turned into a 3-way match with Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. And I do believe that match, Pentagon Jr. beat Austin Aries, and he is the current Impact champion. So that's, like, if you've been watching Impact recently either, people, you need to just really give it a shot. I don't know how people don't watch that stuff. In 5 months from now, you're going to be cheering for half that roster because they're going to be on NXT or, WWE. Impact has really been stepping it up in the last few months, if not the last year, and their ratings are climbing, so I don't know what to tell you. If you're not watching them, you really should be. Bullet Club is negotiating with Corgan's NWO over the All In event to have Nick Aldis defend the NWA title at the event. I think it's already been signed and done. I think that's very cool. Other people who have signed, like I said, I would love to go to this event. Why does it have to be in Chicago? The more signees that are going to be at that event other than Bullet Club and Flip Gordon and Stephen Mell. Jay Lethal recently signed. Sage Beckett, but she's already under another name, which I find interesting that they signed her for that. Tessa Blanchard, Penelope Ford, and Joey, whatever, it's her boyfriend. They're huge on the indies. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix are going to be there. Laurel Van Ness. Diana Peraza, Okada, and possibly Hanito. So, Rainmaker, Okada, come on. And if they land Hanito, that's a huge card. You got Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, the Bullet Club. That's what I said. This is going to be an amazing, and they're still saying they're signing people to be on this show. Bullet Club possibly recruiting 2 female wrestlers soon to possibly join the Bullet Club. Well, I'm not going to leave you guessing. Of course, people already think that Brandy Rose is in the group, but she's not. So these are the possible names being kicked around. Tennille Dashwood, which is Emma, which I think would be amazing. If you watched her in the Ring of Honor's tournament for the first female title, day and night of anything she's ever done in WWE. What's the other one? And Summer Rae. That could be interesting. Do I see Summer Rae? Well, they're not really a bad guy. I don't know. She could fit into that group, though. She is a little heinous. She can do heinous. It'd be interesting to see Summer Rae pop up in Ring of Honor. Bullet Club member tweets his return. Who could it be? Is it Cody Rhodes? Not Cody Rhodes. Cody Hall? No, not Cody Hall. I'm not even going to start doing this. It's Bone Soldier. And if you know the history of Bullet Club, you're like, what? Bone Soldier? This was a guy that was like never really in shape. He didn't really win, if ever. I don't even really get his purpose of the group. He would be placed in big matches and always be the reason why they lost. I'm assuming he's coming back and he's in shape. Some of the Bullet Club members, if you were following their teats, they either fully embraced it or ugged to it, or one of the Gorillas of Destiny said he's going to take him under his wing and make him what he was truly supposed to be when he was first in the group. So be on the lookout for Bone Soldier. I'm sure you can find anything on it on YouTube. Special guest referee Mick Foley was on hand at the ACW card in Maryland. Gilbert and James Ellsworth became the tag team champs, defeating the Bully Club. So I guess that's news. Like I said, James Ellsworth, I don't feel bad for that guy. You've seen me say it in other videos too. He basically is now living on Grimm's Toy Show or GTS Wrestling. He's been there for, a month, 2 months? I've seen him all over YouTube, fighting all over the world. Kudos to that guy. I was really shocked that he wasn't in the 50-man Battle Royal for like a surprise entrance, because they were scrambling so hard for people, apparently. It would have gotten a huge pop if he showed up. I was kind of expecting it, but it didn't happen. But James Ellsworth and Gilbert are tag team champions. Alicia Fox was removed from the Women's Battle Royal after a pre-Mania fight, this is kind of old, with Ronda Rousey's husband. So she was removed from the Women's Royal Rumble, the first ever, and this was on YouTube. She was chewing the guy out. All I know about her husband is he's got a history of domestic violence with his ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend or something. You can see Alicia Fox in his face saying that's not cool or whatever. I don't know if he said something to her, but he was acting totally cool and wasn't trying to instigate the thing. She kind of came off crazy, and when her friend let her know that she was being recorded, she even went after the camera guy. So I guess that was her punishment. She really lucked out, so she missed the first, what was it, Money in the Bank match and the first women's battle Royal Rumble. Ronda Rousey's brother, husband, Travis Brown. Of course, we all know Nikki and John Cena split up. It's basically not supposed to be because all of John Cena got cold feet. I guess he had agreed to have children with her, and then he backed out last minute. I think it's more of he was protecting his empire. If you've watched enough of Divas and all that crap, she's just money hungry. Maybe mean to say, but like, John Cena gave her permission on an episode to go find a rental property by Daniel Bryan and her sister. Why, after Birdie was born. What does she do? She goes and finds like the most expensive thing she can find, and that's supposed to be their property. And he was not happy whatsoever. Like, the place had a freaking fountain in the middle of the doorway when you walk in. Her brother showed up. He's like, Jesus Christ, this is crazy. And John's like, yup, sure is. and then there's the whole thing with her showing up at a dealership here in Florida with a bag full of cash to buy a Bentley. She don't have Bentley money. John Cena's got Bentley money. And that was right after he had to sell that Ford GT experimental car that he was getting leased for 2 years, and he sold it to, quote, pay bills. But if she walked in with a duffel bag of money, she paid for it, right? Or maybe it was a down payment. I mean, Bentleys are supposed to be crazy expensive. But that girl walked into a dealership with like 200 grand. I'd have beat her ass. So you never know. And this was all in the last year. So I think he got cold feet. Like I said, he saw his future. He probably wouldn't have liked it any better if he had kids with her, because women just generally do better in divorces with men, especially wealthy men. And John Cena is all about John Cena, and really Nikki Bella is all about Nikki Bella. So yeah, they broke up. Tyrus is gone from Impact again. This time, he was, I don't even remember why he left. This is kind of old. He was so happy to be re-signed after the Jarretts were gone, because that's originally why he left. And he praised Impact when he came back because they was finally the right people. But he was in kind of a stupid... Yeah, he did beat EC3, but after that he was put into like a body-shaming gimmick with Mahabal and... what's it got? Justice, Instant Justice is just a butterball, and Mahabal can wrestle. Justice is a joke wrestler, and he was put into like a body shaming angle with those guys. So I think that was the end of it for him, and he quit. If you noticed, after Mania, Alexa Bliss kind of went MIA. If you don't know, she was having plastic surgery done. She started showing up again, this last week. It doesn't take a genius to see what kind of work she had done, but kind of pisses me off. I mean, some girls are that pretty, that good looking, that well in shape, and they're still not happy with the way they look. Was there any guy that thought she needed to go out and do what she did? No. And she's a little girl with a little frame, and it's not ridiculous looking, but it's borderline. I don't know, man. I don't know what girls think sometimes. Just like when Velvet Sky went and got him, too. You didn't need to get him, girl. You were hot. But whatever. You can figure it out for yourself, kids. What did Alexa Bliss go and have done? Go watch Raw. Okay. As we all know, with the shocking end to Mania, like I said, I haven't been on in a while. Lesnar re-signed with the WWE last minute. Lesnar is now making over $500,000 a match. Every time he shows up on TV, whatever he does, he just stands in the ring and jumps around while Heyman sings his praises. He gets $127,000 for that. He also gets an extra, same deal, $637,000 for his image, contract, for likeness, for video games, toys, merchandise, etc. They are selling the farm for Brock Lesnar. He seems to be worth it, but their booking of him lately doesn't make it seem like it. I mean, his first few years back, he was amazing. I think they're just booking him now to slowly make us want to hate him. I don't know. Like, his last couple of matches weren't barn burners. They weren't amazing. They were short, quick matches. And like I said, I think there's a reasoning behind it. But man, they are paying that guy a lot of money. All right, let me see. And if you don't know, first the winner of the first ever Women of Honor tournament for the Women's Championship was Sami Suke. She's a 16-year veteran with Ring of Honor. If you don't know who she's that little Japanese girl. I don't want to be mean. She's kind of homely. I don't know how old she is. I've finally got to see her wrestle this last November in person. She was actually crying in segments during this tournament because wrestling for Ring of Honor meant so much for her, and I guess she didn't make. She was the only one like giving truthful promos. I kind of felt for her. Like, her time in Japan wrestling, she wasn't really getting paid that much, and she was talking about how hard her life was. In Ring of Honor, I can't imagine what they pay her here, but apparently it was better than what she made in Japan, and she claims it changed her life, and she owes her lifestyle to Ring of Honor. And I think this was like Ring of Honor's way of like, here you go, you earned it, because she's really tiny. I mean, she beat Jessica Klein and Emma in the finals, and Klein in the semifinals, and Klein in the finals. Emma in the semifinals, Klein in the finals. Klein is like a she-man beast. She's like China, but still womanly, and this little girl beat her. But like I said, I think it was just her, like an attaboy, like the company just giving her props because she's been around forever, and you don't have anything to show for it because it was never a women's title or anything like that. So yes, she won the first ever women's Ring of Honor women's title. You can see it on YouTube somewhere for sure. RVD reappears in PCW California to challenge Pentagon Jr. for the PCW World title. He didn't lose it to Pentagon Jr. He lost it to... It's somebody nobody knows. I know the name, I just can't think of it. And he lost to Pentagon. And I would love to see this match, but it'll probably be on YouTube 6 months from now. Elijah Burke, seen backstage at SmackDown. Sign him. Rich Swann was seen at Impact. Sign him. Some people are probably like, that doesn't mean anything. His wife works there. Who's his wife? Oh, come on. What's her name? The Asian girl that's feuding with... Oh, jeez. What's... Soon Lee fighting... Oh, God. I can't even think of the other girl's name. That's how... Like I said, I've had a stressful week. Dolph Ziggler recently injured his knee in a dark match against Mike Kanellis. This could be it for Zach. He was just moved to Raw. Supposedly he was going to get a push. I feel so bad for that guy. But we'll see what happens. Kane. Come on, I know his real name. Glenn Jacobs. No, that's not even... Well, okay, we'll say Glenn Jacobs, whatever. I was going to say, isn't that still his WWE character name? He won his primary in the state... Oh, come on. In the Maryland race. He won it by 17... Or no, the Knox County mayoral race. He won it by 17 votes. So, he's... The primaries. Oh, that's just the primaries. I was going to say, yeah, he's... Not the mayor, it's the primaries. But good for him. It's obviously going to be a close race. If you haven't heard the news, supposedly Toys R Us is saved in Canada and maybe 8 stores in America. Some company, which I can't remember, or no, it's called Fairfax, right? I didn't write it down. Supposedly has bought the rights to all the chains in Canada with promises of some of the top selling stores in America, so far only 8, to stay open. And eventually they said they will slowly, as time progresses and they get out of, well, they're going to get out of debt because they filed for Chapter 11, that they will try to reopen Toys R Us back to its old glory all around the world. We'll have to see how that goes. But it is nice to know that Toys R Us isn't dying totally. Indie star Keith Lee is coming to NXT. He fought Cassius Ohno over Access weekend, or at Access over Mania weekend against Cassius Ohno, and I guess he impressed enough. He was offered a deal. I don't think he's coming anytime soon because he's still advertising dates on Twitter that he's going to, but it seems to be wide open after September. So if you want to know who that guy is, Keith Lee versus Cassius Ohno, Access weekend WrestleMania. Go check it out. Danny Burch is re-signed to NXT. He's been there before. He also had a run in TNA. He was in that tag team, I believe, that I used to like, but I can't remember their name. It was something. It was kind of something like the Revival. I think Al Snow, if I remember right, Al Snow managed them for a little bit, but I can't remember their name. But he's back as well. Jason Jordan is supposedly returning later this month. When it was originally reported his injury, he was supposed to be out for a year, if not a year and a half, to almost 2 years. How in the hell he's coming back this soon is beyond me. They must have him filled with all types of monkey steroids and everything else. And I would not be rushing this. It was a serious neck injury. It's supposed to be the same thing that took out Edge and who else just recently? I can't remember. And they're bringing him back. He's not even a big player. Why would you rush him? But whatever. He's taking his career into his hands, I think. Jericho is back in bed with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is signed on to do the May 1st show at the Cow Palace to face... Oh, and this weekend, I guess he's signed... His original fallout after Wrestle Kingdom was because he wanted a multi-event contract, and at the time they couldn't agree to terms or something, so that's why he wasn't at the March 1st show in Cali. Well, now I guess he must have signed something because supposedly this weekend he's fighting Don Taku, and it's supposed to eventually reignite his feud with Naito. With the feud that was instigated after New Year's Bash. So I don't know. I can't recall their events there in New Japan, but I guess Jericho signed a semi-long contract with New Japan. All right. This is a little bit interesting. Original plans for Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. Obviously, no. The original plan was not to have him go out there, handpick some kid, Nicholas, to go. It was kind of a quirky moment. It kind of worked when he grabbed Nicholas and dragged him into the ring. It was funny when they actually tagged, and Cesaro was getting ready to pounce on the kid. But you knew damn well at that point that was a prop. He was placed there. Now, it would have been fine, and it probably would have sold a lot better if the WWE wasn't publishing photos literally like 2 hours later telling you that this was some ref's kid and it's been planned all along. They took away the magic of the moment and the magic of the match by doing that. For what? Did we really need to know that was a referee's kid? No, we didn't need to know that. But that was ruined. The original plan, though, all along was his mystery tag team partner, which, of course, there was a million names. And that's what really pissed some people off is the way they went, because we went with Nicholas. One of the names in the top 5 names that was being batted around, of course, was Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was set in gold. He was actually even promised this. He was going to debut at WrestleMania with Braun Strowman, win the tag team titles. They were going to go on to become a dominant tag team. eventually feuding with Braun Strowman, eventually going on to a feud with Brock Lesnar. Well, we obviously didn't get that, and it seems to me they're already trying to bury Bobby Lashley. They're not treating him even remotely in the same caliber as Brock Lesnar. Obviously, you can't have 3 unstoppable machines on the card, but you can certainly have Bobby Lashley keep his badass persona going. He's won more MMA matches than Brock Lesnar ever did, and they're in the same boat, same category. Like I said, if it wasn't for Braun Strowman, they'd probably be doing that, but they really need to be booking Bobby Lashley a little bit stronger before they've totally ruined him. There's a lot of money to be made there with Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley and a bunch of other people. So I just don't get why they do this crap. But anyways, I was going to show you my tickets. I'll do that later to the Lakeland show, just so you all know that Ring of Honor event. I wasn't just joshing people. The tickets are sitting on my stove still. I was going to show you for this video, but I sat down and I have to crawl over a pile of toys to get in here. But yeah, I missed that show. But this is it. I'll probably do a prediction video tomorrow. I did a bunch of hunting today, so I got a bunch of stuff. Some's going to be unboxed. Some's just going to be reviewed. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Subscribe. Oh, F you, YouTube. That's another thing, man, that's getting my goat. I've watched in the last week or so, I've probably gotten 8 new subscribers. My number has only gone up by 1 number the entire time. I'm so sick of YouTube. I mean, I was going to do Patreon, but I hear Patreon sucks too. I don't know why we do these things for YouTube. Make these videos, give them content, and they just screw us over. Because they're more interested in keeping their money and putting it forth for doing YouTube Red. Which, the only thing, I just subscribed to that last night and binge watched the Karate Kid series, which, by the way, is just great. But that was the only thing I could see to watch. But that's what they're spending their money on, is being that, trying to be Netflix, you know. But meanwhile, they're screwing over the creators. But like I said, I've watched at least 8 to 10 people join my channel. I've watched my numbers, my subscribers go up 1 number. I got 2 this morning, 2 new ones. If I wasn't on my phone, I would show you. I have 5 still in my notifications just from this week, and my numbers don't go up. And I mean, this is what pisses me off. I know I should have higher numbers. I've lost probably as many subscribers as, I've lost as many viewers as I have subscribers at this point. I know it. But whatever. I'm trying not to get stressed right now, but yeah, for the people who subscribed, I hope you still get to see this stuff. Like I said, I'm venting now, but screw YouTube. I don't even want to get into it. But I don't know. Like I said, leave a comment, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Really, I think a lot of it is people aren't hitting the notification button. And I think when you don't do that, YouTube is erasing you as a subscriber, or they're just screwing with my numbers. I don't know what it is, but whatever. Like I said, Mad Viking out. Look for my predictions video tomorrow. I got a lot of Star Wars Black stuff. I got a bunch of WWE Elites, some NXT stuff.